here we sit, 43 and a half minutes to go. And as much as that's a kind of an emotional win for Giants fans, you're still sitting on a big bunch of nothing. You got A.J. Pollock, who's going to be a Giant for, a couple of weeks, according to Dave Fleming this morning on the Morning Roast.
That one's a big old nothing.
No, but other than that, you've done nothing. So, Farhan, you got 43 minutes to wow us with a move. If not, and I know we're going to get into this a little bit more as the show goes on, but you had an interesting statement, or it was even kind of more of an opinion than it was a question. Questions come out of opinions, Mark, in this business.
That's right.
I think your opinion was something to the effect of, why don't the Giants realize that they don't excite us? And I thought that was an interesting notion.
I think that's their bigger problem. Everyone's been sort of, there's these lanes that get created. And you hear a lot of people go, well, the Giants, the way they're constructed, they're not good enough to win the World Series. Maybe. They're not good enough to do what they've already done. Like, look at the metrics.
Honestly.
They're the worst offense in baseball for 4 weeks. How many starting pitchers do they have?
I mean, fractions.
2. They've got a 2-man rotation.
2 and a bunch of great openers.
And they're 9 games over 500.
Yeah.
How the hell do you do that? It's the same question many people were asking when they won a $107 a couple of years ago. You look at the roster and you go, how? And so every year we get to the end and we go, outlier. That was not real. That was
fluke.
It was fluky. It's not fluky. So here's what I've decided is actually the Giants' issue. And I bet the business office and the baseball office, they need to go have a summit. They need to go camping together. Because here's the issue. Farhan Zaidi and Gabe Kapler have shown that they can make lemonade out of lemons. They have shown that their system, platooning and yanking Marco Luciano for a pinch hitter in his debut, annoying things like that, win baseball games. You can score 3 runs or fewer every single night and still win a lot of your games. It's unbelievable. So can they build a baseball team that wins more games than it loses? Yes, that has already been decided. But can they excite you? Can they get into your blood? Every Giants fan on my phone today. Get ready for this, nothing burger. And everyone's all ticked off while they're already right in the middle of the race and in a playoff spot.
9 above, and their expectation based on their run differential, they're 2 games ahead of that, which speaks to what you're saying. This triumvirate or this brain trust has found a way to win games. Win games with a mostly underwhelming offense and a rotation that is at least 2 arms short of being 2 arms short. Very good bullpen. Defense improved. Base running absolutely better. So they're winning these games in the margins. But beyond are you exciting, to me the bigger question is, can these guys build a winner? Because even when you won 107 games, you couldn't get out of the first round of the playoffs. And you went up against a really good team. And I get a team that had won 106. Kind of a curiosity in that way. But can these 2 guys get some excitement? And can they build a real winner?
Well, I mean, it was not comforting to Giants fans that Farhan Zaidi sat in the dugout yesterday and spoke about the starting pitching market. And I told you a week ago when the Angels got Giolito, I was like, well, if that's the price for a starting pitcher, I'm out. Like, it is. The cost is ridiculous. People are giving up their 2nd and 3rd and 4th prospects for guys who are going to be here for 10 weeks. It's stupid. I don't want the Giants to do that, but I'd love for them to be involved in the party. But then Farhan's sitting in the dugout going, look, here are the facts. If you want the metrics, do you know what their record is with an opener this year?
They're like, 15-6 or something?
14-5.
I know the one guy, Walker's undefeated. He's not undefeated, but they don't lose when he opens.
They don't lose when he opens.
7-0, I think, when he opens.
Right. So if the Giants' record this year is 58-49, that's 9 games over 500. Okay. And then they're 14-5 with an opener, that's 9 games over 500. That means they're a 500 baseball team when they have a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
So they've decided they're better with an opener. And it makes a fan want to yank his ears off of his head because it's like, how's that working in the playoffs? Well, the honest answer is, I don't know. Is that what the playoffs are going to look like in a couple of years?
And it's a best of 3, right? In that first
first round.
So
yes.
you're going to go with Webb, and then you're going to go with Cobb,
and then Ryan Walker.
So assuming you split those first
if
2
you
games,
even get to the third
and
game.
now we got a third game,
That's
and it's
right.
all right. Who we go with? Is it Bumgarner? Is it Vogelsong? Is it Kane?
This
Is it
guy.
Timmy?
It's this guy.
Seriously.
That's who's starting. Who? This guy.
Is it Brebbia? Is it Walker? Is it?
Yep. And
good Lord.
And 2 outs in, Manaya's already warming up.
Totally.
Here he comes.
Or Stripling or whoever it's
Or
going to be.
whoever.
Innings eater. So
It doesn't feel like a recipe to win. I get that. And sometimes this is the rub between the Giants and their fans. They're like, we know it doesn't feel good, but look, it is good. It's good. It works. Yeah, but. And everyone butts each other all day long. And everybody's right. The Giants win games more than they lose, and the fans will tell you, yeah, but I don't know if we're bored, but the fans are like, you certainly do not bring any confidence to us. Like the Giants have the least confident fan base of any winning team in baseball this year.
It's interesting when you talk about the fans, because most of the people who text you and most of the fans, and I will count 30,972, which is 300 fans more than they averaged last year. They're up 322, which is 1%, which is not nothing. But those fans, the 31,000 who show up and who are into it, and I know it's more than that, those fans don't need to be titillated by a big name, a big performance, or a big star as much as, like my wife,
everybody
Supper,
else.
for example, and my father-in-law, who has a hard time locking in on Giants baseball as opposed to 2019 when they had more names, people that you recognize. And you run down the roster, and like Iser Diaz is a great example. Played yesterday, second base. Probably will be optioned here in the next hour or so, if he hasn't already.
For A.J. Pollock.
Exactly.
Most
Who will
likely.
be here for 2 or 3 weeks, and then when Yaz gets healthy, Pollock will be put somewhere on the shelf or on the bench. It's just so much roster churn, so much, okay, we have an opener, and this guy plays 4 innings, and then he comes in, and then he's now in left, and he's been moved to third. It's just tough to lock in on a team when you've got that much turnover.
Absolutely. I totally get it. And by the way, real quick on the Pollock thing, just the more that I've sort of discussed and read about it, I don't even think that should necessarily count as a deadline deal. From what I'm hearing, this is, and just so you know, whether they do anything here in the next 36 minutes or not, I have no idea. He does love to operate in the final hour. So here we are. It's the final countdown. Dibs. So it's almost why I was surprised this happened yesterday. Here's what I think was actually going on. The Mariners and the Giants are obviously bosom buddies. Farhan and Dipoto, like
Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari.
They get coffee together, no doubt about it. So I think the Mariners call and they're like, look, we got other deals going on. We need to clear some space on the 40-man. Mike Yastrzemski's going on the DL. Pollock's sitting here. We really don't have any use for him.
Our fans hate him.
Right. We got nothing going on here. Sounds like maybe you might need an outfielder for a couple of weeks. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, Jerry. What do you want in return? Because that's not really what we're looking to do.
We want 3 Gabe Kapler burger recommendations.
Exactly. How about a couple of gift cards to Alcatraz?
And
I
a
don't
burger
know.
mid-rare.
Like,
Literally dripping with flavor.
Thank you. Like, that's why the Giants were like, what did they give up? Nothing.
Totally.
They gave up nothing. So this was not anything that anybody cares about. This was not something either of these teams went and set out to go do.
Well, and they got a Mariners, I won't call him a prospect, but they got a minor leaguer.
got a guy.
Thanks for doing a solid. You know, and he's a Bay Area kid, so, hey, you did us a solid. Why don't you go ahead and take this guy.
Take this guy. He's on a plane right now to Houston. He won't even know.
Yeah.
It's all cruel. So yeah, I'm throwing that out with the bathwater. That's like whatever. If Pollock comes in and hits a home run or two, good for him. Yaz, we'll see you in 2 to 3 weeks. Haniger, hopefully we'll see you in 4 to 6. And Estrada starts his rehab assignment in Sacramento tonight.
Yeah.
So let's roll. Let's get him here for the weekend. Look, everything's fine there, but 35 minutes to go. I don't want to hear Giants, can you get better? Honestly, Giants, can you create any excitement? Can you create some confidence with your fan base? because they are expecting that in the next 34 minutes, you are going to do nothing or you're going to acquire somebody they've never heard of.
Right.
That's what they're expecting.
And I see that the Blue Jays got DeYoung, so there's another piece that some Giants fans were covetous of. And you were mentioning Connor Joe in the green room.
Yep.
I couldn't even get Tommy Pham's name out my mouth before. Before you, because he's a guy who's been rumored to possibly be on the move.
Right, but he's a knucklehead and they won't do it.
But he's having a big year, and he's the kind of bat who can help this flaccid offense. Because last night was a great example of what you're talking about when it comes to excitement, because this team, they don't feel like they're a threat to put up a crooked number anymore.
3 minutes ago, Tommy Pham just poked his head into his manager's office. He's with the Mets, left the clubhouse in street clothes. No word yet that he's been traded, but he just left the building.
And this just in, Tommy Pham has booked a flight estimated to land at SFO.
No.
Come on. Let's get a little spice in that locker room.
If he goes to the lineup, he's got a bat right in front of Jock. And get a little slap hit there so Jack can hit it over the fence.
Took the joke right out of my mouth. I left it for you.